Well-established Rich coming right back at you. Today, we gotta talk about something that looks funny on the surface, but it actually tells you a lot about where hip-hop is right now and where it's headed in the future. This is about 50 Cent and Papoose, and whether people want to admit it or not. This is also about Clarissa Shields being dragged into this beef, whether she wanted to or not. On the surface, this looks like internet trolling, AI videos, jokes, captions, laughs. But if you've been around hip-hop long enough, you know this is actually an old story we've seen before. Because the truth is, the beef between Pap and 50 didn't start this week. It didn't even start this year. And it definitely didn't start with AI. This goes back for years. This goes back to a time when 50 was his most aggressive online, and Pap was moving quiet, focused, and disciplined. And it popped off when 50 decided to get cute online about Remy. And whether people want to downplay that or not, that was a line that was crossed. And Pap responded the way he always does. Not panic, not loud, but direct. That's why this thing never really died. It just went into storage. Fast forward to now. 50 decides to ring in the new year with an AI video. Not a song, not a verse, not a diss record, but an AI video.
Thing I did for you. I did it because I love you. But you felt the same way about me.
Me? Love you? Bitch, you got to be crazy. I use you. You're a toy, bitch. A freak. You get your big country, greasy ass back to the country where you belong.
I'm gonna kick your ass.
He takes Pap and Clarissa's face and drops them into a scene from an old movie, framing it as a joke about assault with a caption that clearly wants to connect to a real-life situation people been talking about. And here's where it gets interesting. This ain't rap beef the way we grew up. This is psychological beef. This is visual warfare. This is a meme strategy. 50 ain't trying to out-rap him. He's trying to outpace him with attention. And that tells you everything you need to know, because everybody knows something that 50 knows too. If this ever went to bars, 50 wouldn't have a chance. No contest, no debate. Pap is one of those rappers who never lost his pen, and he never needed a comeback arc because he never fell off lyric-wise. So 50 does what 50's been doing for years. He shifts the battlefield. Movies, TV, Instagram, AI. This is the same playbook, just updated software. But here's the part 50 may have misjudged. Pap didn't run from it. Pap didn't duck. Pap didn't write a long caption explaining himself. He came back with his own AI video.
He trying to make fun of their relationship. Pap responded with this AI video of 50. Then he goes in the caption and says, no. Stop deflecting, Curtis. The world is still waiting for your response to fabbing them. You from Southside. Do something. Fight or flight. Holla if you need a ghostwriter, chump. Now 50 Cent was not letting that go. 50 responded back to Pap again. He said, yo, look what Pap just posted. That looked like one of his joints. All his hoes handsome.
And that response was important because Pap didn't just clap back. He showed 50 this is a two-way street. Pap's response was not about trying to be funnier than 50. It was about showing that this game can be played both ways. The AI video of 50 in hoop earrings, a bra, and tight shorts was not random. It was strategic. Pap said, if we gonna do this, we gonna do it. And more importantly, Pap did what 50 didn't want. He pulled the conversation back into hip-hop. He called 50 out for not responding to Fab. He called out deflection. He called out avoidance. And that's the core of this whole situation. 50 ain't beefing with Pap because he mad. He beefing with Pap because Pap represents something he don't want to deal with. Discipline, consistency, and rap skill that never left the room. This AI back and forth also exposes where beef is going. We are entering an era where artists don't just need writers. They need AI guys, editors, visual teams, meme thinkers. Diss tracks are no longer just audio. They are packages. Whoever responds fastest with the clearest visual wins the first round. And in this round, Pap did exactly what he was supposed to do. Now, the question is simple. What will 50 do next? Does he get in the booth? Highly unlikely. Does he turn this into a show, a scene, a narrative that he controls? That's always been his lane. But what he can't do, and this is the part people need to understand, he can't pretend it's just a joke anymore because Pap stepped in with the same tick and came right back at him. This ain't about winning a beef. This is about showing who can adapt without losing themselves. And right now, Pap looks comfortable with who he is. 50 looks like a general who don't want to pick up guns anymore. He just want to launch drones. And that's not a diss. That's just the truth. Hip-hop is watching this not for laughs, but for signals. This ain't about who won a round on Instagram. This ain't about who had the funnier AI video. This ain't even about about who posted first and who posted last. This is about identity. Hip-hop is at a place where it's asking a question that most people don't want to answer out loud. What do you stand on when the tools change? Because the tools have changed. The speed has changed. The attention span has changed. But character shows up the same way it always has. You can tell who is comfortable in their own skin and who is still trying to control the room. You can tell who is rooted and who is reacting. And that's why this back and forth hit different. 50 has always been a master at momentum. He knows how to keep his name in the air. He knows how to turn anything into content. But content is not the same as culture. Culture moves slower. Culture remembers. Culture don't care how clever you are if it doesn't feel true. And Pap, whether people like it or not, has always felt true. He never ran from rap. He never ran from practice. He never ran from sharpening his pen. So when this turned into AI warfare, he didn't panic. He didn't preach. He didn't explain himself. He just met the moment without losing himself. And that's the part people should be paying attention to, because this is where beef is going. We're not going back to diss tracks just dropping out of anywhere. We're not going back to weeks waiting for a response. This is real-time warfare now. Visuals, captions, context, and clips that travel faster than any song could. And the dangerous part, you don't even have to say much anymore. You just have to frame it right. That's why this is bigger than two rappers. This is a preview of how narratives are going to be built, broken, and flipped. And it also exposes something else. There is a line between evolution and escape. Using AI to enhance your voice is one thing. Using AI to avoid your voice is something different. And hip-hop, at its core, has always respected people who could stand naked in front of a mic with nothing but words. You can add effects, you can add visuals, you can add tech, but eventually somebody is gonna ask you just to rap. And that question is still sitting in the room. That's why Pap's response hit harder than people realize. Not because it was mean, not because it was shocking, but because he reminded everybody that he could do this any way you wanna do it. Words, visuals, or both. This is also why I don't think this ends here. Not because it's gonna turn violent or messy, but because the internet don't like unfinished conversations. Somebody is gonna push this again. Somebody gonna try to escalate it. And when that happens, we're gonna see who really wants to stay in this and who is just passing through for laughs. Because at the end of the day, hip-hop always does this. It strips you down. It takes away the extras, the gimmicks, the safety net, and it leaves you with one question. Who are you when the room gets quiet? Pap answered that without raising his voice. 50 answered it by shifting the room. Both are strategies. Only one ages well. And as a fan of the culture, not the chaos, that's what I'm watching. Not who gets the most laughs. I'm watching who respects the game enough to still show up as themselves in it. Because the tools gonna keep changing. AI ain't going nowhere. Visual beef ain't going nowhere. But the culture always tells you who it trusts. And it does that quietly. So we'll see where this goes. We'll see if this ever turns into music or just stays in the AI lane. Either way, this moment already did its job. It showed us where the lines are. It showed us who is adapting and who is distracting. And it showed us what the next era of beef is gonna look like. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe. Established Rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.